Welcome to EYE on Sci-Fi podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 216 of EYE on Sci-Fi podcast, the podcast where we share with you terrific indie science fiction and fantasy, online short films, web series, and other closely related media. We also, on occasion, have conversations with the talented and fascinating creators who are producing outstanding indie speculative work. Thank you for joining me. You know, Star Trek made famous the line, "Space, the final frontier." And many of us believe that outer space is truly humanity's final frontier, but it's not quite accurate. There is another vastly unexplored region, and it is right here on Earth, and that is beneath the ocean depths. And because once you get to a certain depth in the ocean, it is crushing because of the pressure, we still do not have the technology to explore most of the Earth's surface that is covered by water. And I think it is also very interesting that there are not that many on screen sci fi narratives involving life under the oceans. We've had the old television series Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. And then in the early 90s, we had Sequest DSV. There is the films Sphere and The Abyss by James Cameron. And then most recently, there was the movie Underwater starring Kristen Stewart. But again, these are very rare exceptions. And whenever I come across a sci-fi narrative that is set under the oceans, it immediately gets my attention. Well, I have a sci-fi short film for you that is set under the ocean, and it is one of the best, and I'm not being hyperbolic, sci-fi short films that I have ever seen. It is called Oceanus by FutureDude Entertainment, and it was created and directed by Jeffrey Morris. Now, the story is set in the near future, and in this near future, humanity has finally begun to colonize the ocean depths. We meet a crew, a husband and wife team, Dr. Erin Mitchell, portrayed by actor Megan Dodds, and her engineer husband, Sam Jordan, portrayed by Sharif Atkins. They are manning a two-person, very advanced submersible, and they are beginning an experiment that Dr. Kendall has been working on using whale songs to communicate with whales. So as they begin their experiment, they leave Oceanus and travel further and deeper into the ocean. However, a cataclysmic event happens on the surface that causes a tsunami, and it separates the husband and wife team, with Dr. Kendall being in the submersible and Sam Jordan being in a kind of buoy type of drone that he was attempting to repair before the tsunami hit. So all of a sudden, they are in a life or death survival race. And as they attempt to reunite, they also have to figure out what in the hell happened on the surface of the planet that is affecting the ocean deep. Oceanus is one of the best looking sci-fi short films that I have seen in my 11 years of curating and sharing sci-fi shorts. And I say this because it is set completely, well, I should say almost completely underwater. Folks, believe me when I tell you that this 30-minute sci-fi short film looks as though a major Hollywood studio financed and produced it. The visual effects look that good, especially the underwater sets, the design of the submersible, and just the way that they travel under the ocean. It looks fantastic. And this film was produced in 2015. Not only does it boast pristine production value, but Oceanus has a fantastic cast, including Megan Dodds as Dr. Erin Kendall. And many of you all may recognize Megan from her roles on Detroit 187, which was a crime procedural on ABC, but she is currently in Apple TV Plus's For All Mankind. Sharif Atkins, who has been in so many films and television series. And then Bruce Davison was Senator Kelly in the Fox X-Men films. So he is someone who would be instantly recognizable to most of you all. However, the voice of the submersible's AI, Triton, is none other than Malcolm McDowell. Now, if you don't know who Malcolm McDowell is, Google him, because this gentleman has had a long and illustrious career in film and in television. So this casting is also fantastic. And so all of this comes together. The pristine production value, the dazzling undersea visual effects, and the talented notable cast to create a 30-minute undersea sci-fi short film that is gripping and compelling in every way. And of course, I will include a link to where you can watch Oceanus in the show notes of this episode. Now, also, I ask you to visit the link tree that is in our show notes, because by means of that link tree, you will be able to visit our site, the7thmatrix.com, where we have curated hundreds of sci-fi short films, web series, and other closely related media. I also need to ask you to visit our support section of the link tree, because without the kind and generous support of listeners like you, we would not be able to do the work that we do here at EYE On Sci-Fi Podcast and over at the7thmatrix.com, and we do appreciate that. Also, please leave us a 5-star review and rating wherever you get your podcasts, because that helps others find us, and we appreciate that a great deal too. Okay, that's it for this episode, everyone. And again, thank you for joining me. And until next time, remember to take a break, escape the mundane, and enter the fantastic. Take care.